The galaxy is healing from the fractures left by the Empire, but peace remains fragile. Din Djarin travels through the Outer Rim with Grogu, taking quiet jobs to keep them off the radar. Their bond grows deeper as Grogu begins to sense disturbances in the Force that frighten him. Din notices Grogu's unease during nights when the stars flicker strangely. Rumors of a rising dark Force cult reach them from frightened settlers. Though Din tries to brush it off, Grogu feels something calling to him. Their first major stop is on a desert moon where settlers are being terrorized by rogue mercenaries. Din steps in reluctantly, hoping to teach Grogu restraint and responsibility. During the battle, Grogu uses the Force defensively in ways Din has never seen. The settlers whisper that the child is a blessing from ancient Jedi myths. Din begins to worry that showing Grogu's powers could attract the wrong eyes. Grogu looks torn between pride and fear. As they leave the moon, Din receives a mysterious transmission from Carson Teva. It warns that fragments of Imperial loyalists are uniting under a new master. Rumors suggest this figure seeks a Force-sensitive child. Din's heart tightens as he looks down at Grogu. They change course immediately, heading toward Navarro for refuge. But Grogu feels the pull of something reaching for him across hyperspace. On Navarro, Greef Karga welcomes them warmly, offering sanctuary. Grogu enjoys rare moments of peace, playing with local children and exploring the courtyards. Din tries to enjoy the calm but remains alert. Greef shares intelligence about hidden Imperial research labs still operating in secret. Din realizes Grogu may still be targeted for experiments related to his rare abilities. The danger feels closer than ever. A nighttime attack breaks the peace when masked assassins infiltrate Navarro's outskirts. Din fights them off, but one attempts to touch Grogu with a strange glowing device. Grogu instinctively knocks the assassin back using a burst of Force energy that shakes the ground. The device remains behind. It hums with an eerie resonance tied to Grogu. The meaning of it terrifies Din. He knows they must leave Navarro again. They journey to an ancient Jedi ruin detected in the device's signals. The location is hidden deep within a fog-covered planet that feels alive with the Force. Grogu reacts emotionally upon entering, as if remembering something long forgotten. Din stays close, sensing invisible eyes watching them. A faint whisper echoes Grogu's name in an ancient tongue. Din pulls Grogu close, uneasy. Inside the ruins, they encounter a mysterious Force ghost, an echo of a forgotten Jedi. The apparition does not speak but gestures toward Grogu, offering guidance. Grogu steps forward, touching the energy with small trembling hands. The ghost disappears, leaving behind a symbol carved into the stone that glows faintly. Din records it cautiously. Grogu seems both strengthened and shaken by the moment. The symbol leads them to a hidden settlement of Force mystics on a distant forest world. These mystics are neither Jedi nor Sith but keepers of balance. They treat Grogu with quiet reverence. Din remains protective, uncertain of their intentions. The mystics warn that Grogu's destiny is converging with a rising threat. They offer training but insist Din must let Grogu choose. Din fears losing him again. Grogu undergoes gentle training, learning to control his emotions rather than suppress them. Din watches from a distance, unsure whether he's doing the right thing. He recalls the pain of letting Grogu go once before, yet seeing Grogu's confidence grow fills him with pride. Still, he remains alert to signs of danger. An explosion interrupts Grogu's training as Imperial remnants raid the forest settlement. Din leaps into action with fierce determination. Grogu tries to help but struggles to control the intense energy swirling inside him. The mystics fight alongside them but are overpowered by superior firepower. Din carries Grogu to safety through the burning woods. The settlement falls behind them. They escape into orbit but are pursued by command ships bearing a new insignia. A voice comes through the calm, cold, and disturbingly familiar. The new Imperial leader reveals interest in Grogu's unique potential. He claims Grogu is the key to rebuilding a Force-empowered empire. Din cuts communications, his hands shaking with anger. Grogu senses his fear. Din turns to old allies, including Bo-Katan Kryze, who warns him that the enemy is manipulating ancient Mandalorian myths about force-bound warriors. She insists that protecting Grogu is tied to Mandalore's future as well. Din hesitates to involve others in his dangers, but Bo-Katan refuses to let him fight alone. She pledges her warriors. Together they launch an assault on an Imperial outpost to retrieve stolen data on Grogu. Grogu quietly assists by sensing traps and hidden paths. Din sees how much stronger Grogu has become. Inside the outpost, they discover disturbing experiments attempting to recreate Force-sensitive clones. Grogu trembles at the sight. Din vows never to let him fall into enemy hands. The data reveals the enemy's stronghold hidden on a dark, storm-covered planet. Grogu becomes withdrawn, sensing something terrible within that world. Din tries to comfort him, promising nothing will separate them again. Bo-Katan begins gathering her forces for a rescue strike. Din prepares mentally for the hardest battle of his life. As they approach the storm planet, their ships are dragged by unnatural force turbulence. Grogu raises his hands, calming the storm around Din's ship. Din is stunned as they break through the clouds. Below lies a fortress pulsing with dark energy.
Grogu kluches din zarmor tiktli.
Their strike team infiltrates the fortress, but the new Imperial Master reveals himself, a former Jedi who fell into obsession after Order 66. He believes Grogu is the final fragment of the Force needed to restore a twisted vision of balance. Grogu quivers under the immense pressure of his presence. Din steps forward protectively. The confrontation becomes inevitable. The fallen Jedi traps Din behind a collapsing barrier and pulls Grogu forward with the Force. Grogu starts to resist but falters under the weight of conflicting emotions. Din pounds helplessly at the barrier, shouting Grogu's name. Grogu's eyes fill with tears. He reaches toward Din through the shimmering wall, torn between fear and courage. Drawing on his memories with Din, Grogu gathers his strength. He unleashes a powerful burst of Force light that shatters the barrier and throws the fallen Jedi back. Din rushes to Grogu, holding him tightly. The fortress begins to collapse under the backlash of Grogu's energy. Bo-Katan orders an immediate evacuation. Din and Grogu struggle through collapsing hallways as the storm planet erupts in violent chaos. Grogu uses the Force to shield them from falling debris, straining with each step. Din carries him when his strength falters. They reach the extraction point just as the fortress explodes behind them. The sky clears for the first time in decades. Back on safe ground, Grogu lies exhausted but peaceful in Din's arms. The mystic survivors arrive, bowing to Grogu with gratitude. Din realizes Grogu is not just his foundling, but a bridge between worlds. Grogu wakes and touches Din's helmet gently. Din understands Grogu has chosen his path, and it includes him. The galaxy begins to heal once more as Imperial remnants scatter. Bo-Katan acknowledges that Grogu's bravery helped shape a new era for Mandalore and the Force alike. Din accepts that Grogu's destiny may continue to evolve, but they will face it together. Grogu walks beside Din with renewed confidence. Their bond feels unbreakable. As they return to their ship, Grogu tries to pilot for the first time, giggling as he presses random buttons. Din corrects him patiently, amused. The stars reflect in Grogu's eyes, filled with endless possibilities. Din sets a new course, not for war or escape, but for building a life together. Grogu curls into his seat, humming softly. The Razor Crest 2 jumps into hyperspace, leaving behind rumors of legends. Din knows challenges will always come, but he also knows Grogu is no longer a frightened child. He is growing into a powerful, compassionate being. Together, they continue their journey. A Mandalorian and his child, an unbreakable clan of two.